Have you ever met someone who's functionally broke? I'm talking counting pennies for the vending machine broke. The kind of person who considers a 2-for-1 taco deal a major capital acquisition. But somehow, miraculously, they have a credit score so high, it's the first thing we're going to show the aliens to prove we're a serious species. I'm talking 800, 820. A score so perfect, it could be used to calibrate a Swiss watch. And then, on the flip side, you have the quiet, solid citizen. This person has money in the bank. They own their car. Like, the actual title is in a drawer, not held hostage by a bank in South Dakota. They don't owe a soul a dime. They've never missed a rent payment in a decade. And yet, when they try to do something crazy, like rent an apartment or get a decent insurance rate, the financial system looks at them with the same level of squinty-eyed suspicion they'd give a guy trying to open a savings account with a handful of loose seashells. Why? Because we've been sold a lie. We are told the credit score is proof you've got your life together. We're told it's a responsibility metric. It's the gold star on your adult forehead that says, I am a trustworthy, contributing member of society who brushes their teeth and pays their dues. Spoiler alert, it's not. It is a behavioral tracking collar. It is a digital leash designed by people who find your financial independence not just boring, but deeply personally offensive. See, the system doesn't want to know if you are stable. Stable is a human word. Stable means you can handle a crisis without calling a 1-800 number. The system doesn't care about your character. It wants to know if you are legible. It wants to know if you are predictable. It wants to know if you can be lent to profitably, without too much mess. Let's look at the jargon, shall we? Because the language they use is designed to make you feel like you're the one who's failing the test. They talk about high credit utilization. Translation, you're actually using the money we gave you to survive, and that makes us nervous. We want you to have the debt, but we don't want you to need the debt. It's like a decorative bowl of fruit on a table. It's there for show, Kevin. Don't actually eat the plastic grapes. Then there's the credit mix. Oh, this is my favorite. Translation, we're bored. Why do you only have a credit card? Where's the spice? Where's the drama? Give us a car loan, a mortgage, maybe a personal loan for a jet ski you'll use twice. We need to see you juggle. We want to see how many plates you can spin before the inevitable sound of breaking porcelain. The score isn't measuring how good you are with money, it's measuring how well you behave inside a debt-based enclosure. Savings accounts, they're quiet. A paid-off life, it's silent. And the credit machine? The machine hates silence. It craves noise. It wants movement. It wants a data drip of interest payments and balance shifts. If you aren't producing data, you don't exist. You're a financial ghost haunting the halls of a Capital One branch. And here is where the logic really falls off the rails and into a ditch filled with predatory lending sharks. You decide to be responsible. You say, I'm going to close this old credit card I don't use anymore. I'm going to simplify my life. I'm decluttering my wallet. Bam! Your score drops 30 points. You pay off your student loans early. You're debt-free. You're screaming from the rooftops because you finally escaped the clutches of a degree that cost more than the next 30 years of your life. Bam! Your score dips. Why? Because the algorithm liked the age of that debt. It liked the existence of that obligation. You thought you were cleaning up your house, but the system thinks you just burned down the only part of it found interesting. You became less useful. You stopped being a reliable stream of interest and started being a person with options. And the system hates options. It wants outcomes. It's a choreography of debt. If you have $30,000 in savings and zero debt, you are unscorable. But if you're carrying 3 balances and hovering just above the minimum payments, the system says, now that is a beautiful specimen. Look at him perform. He's dependent, he's predictable, and he's polished. It's not financial wisdom, folks. It's a circus act. And who are the ringmasters? 3 private, for-profit companies: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Companies that you didn't vote for, that you didn't hire, and that have the transparency of a lead brick submerged in a bucket of crude oil. These are the people who decide your fate. They collect the data, often incorrectly, by the way, but good luck fixing that. They package the file, and they sell the profile. And somewhere inside that machinery, a number gets assigned. A number that determines whether you can rent an apartment, whether you can finance a car to get to the job you need to pay the debt, or sometimes, and this is the real kicker, whether you even pass a screening for the job in the first place. Think about that. You need a job to pay your debt, but you can't get the job because your debt-to-income ratio makes the algorithm's nose twitch. It's a snake eating its own tail, and we're the ones getting squeezed in the middle. And the weirdest part? We just accepted it. There was no public vote on this, no Credit Score Act of 1989 that we all signed off on. We just grew up and found the gate was already there. And once the gate exists, it starts training your behavior. It teaches you, keep your old cards open. Put one subscription on a credit card just so it stays active. Don't apply for too much at once or you'll look desperate. Stay present. Stay legible. Stay scoreable. In other words, maintain a healthy relationship with debt. Not because debt is healthy for you. It's like saying you have a healthy relationship with a parasite, but because invisibility is bad for the model. And if you win, if you finally reach that elite 800 plus status, what's the grand prize? Is it a parade? A sense of peace? A certificate that says you are free? No, it's more debt offers. The mailbox starts filling up with premium invitations. Congratulations, because you've proven you're great at paying us back. Here's a platinum card with a $50,000 limit and a rewards program that gives you points you can trade for a toaster or a flight to a city you're too busy working to visit. It's dressed up like a graduation ceremony, but it's just an invitation to a nicer seat at the same casino. Better lighting, better drinks, maybe a softer chair, but it's still the house's money. That's what makes the moral language around credit scores so warped. We talk about them like they reflect character, discipline, adulthood. But the score doesn't know if you're wise, it doesn't know if you're careful, it doesn't know if you've built a stable life outside the grid. It only knows whether you produce the right debt pattern. A person earning six figures in cash, living below their means, with no debt history, can look weak to the machine. A person carrying several balances, one emergency away from total financial collapse, can look strong, as long as they keep feeding the machine on time. Because the score isn't grading for freedom, it's grading for compatibility, for usefulness. It feels upside down because it is upside down. We were told the score reflects our worth. But look at what it actually rewards. Ongoing participation, predictable debt behavior, profitable stability. It's a behavioral leash. It's a language the system forces us to speak, not because it makes us safer, but because it makes us easier to price. And frankly, I'm tired of being a line item on a spreadsheet for a company that can't even keep my data safe from hackers in the first place. That's the episode. I'm going to go find out if my bank accepts sincere apologies in lieu of a monthly payment. See you next time. Oh, and one more thing. If you think your money's safely sleeping in the bank's vault, you may want to check out this next video to see what's really going on.